Good morning, America is a registered trademark of ABC, and I can't say it, but I just did. So there you go. Happy Wednesday, everybody. The 17th day of October 2018. Wake Up Wenatchee Valley is on the air. I'm Dan Kuntz, wearing my red shirt. Wearing his red shirt
You got the memo.
is Steve Hare.
Yeah.
We look like a really bad 60s band. Kat is in control, who is not dressed in red today. Hope you had a really good Tuesday. It was another beautiful day. It was a great day to have a great day, and today is going to be a great day to have a great day.
Oh,
I
you
love
bet.
this weather.
You bet.
I'm just digging it big time.
Yeah, the afternoon is just gorgeous.
Yeah, and we're going to go right through this.
A
Right
little
into
chilly
the weekend.
this morning, but
Yeah, it's 39 right
Yeah.
now, which is actually better than it was yesterday at this time. But no complaints about the weather. I like this.
well, how you doing?
I do great. I do great. Apparently, I can't talk. I'm doing fine. I'm doing really good. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
Good,
Didn't
good.
win the lottery, but I'll tell you what, you're going to have to get a ticket.
Oh yeah, well I
Did
did
you
buy
see?
one.
Did you see the Mega Millions?
Yeah. it's
$868 million.
Well, I only play the lottery when it goes to $1 billion, so it's going to have to go one more. That's a lot of money.
Whew. Wow.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I had plans to win the lottery. By the way, speaking of
If
the
I
lottery,
win it, I think I'll apply that towards the national debt. How's
yeah,
that?
there you go. It'll be gone in about 2 minutes, I think. Speaking of the lottery, tonight at 11:30 we'll have a special report. We'll read off all the names of all the people who did not win the lottery yesterday. 11:30 tonight. Actually, we do have a special program tonight at 7 o'clock, live from Central Washington University. We're going to be televising commercial-free for the entire hour the 8th congressional debate between Dino Rossi and Kim Schreier. And we're going to have that in its entirety at 7 o'clock tonight, thanks to our friends at Central Washington University.
Live programming, and then right after that, we're going to rebroadcast our North Central Washington candidates debate that we aired last week.
So be an informed voter. They mail out the ballots today, and that means you should get them on Friday, right around there, if not on Saturday. If you don't get it by like Tuesday of next week, call your county auditor. It's always a good idea. A beautiful weather forecast, sports, very exciting volleyball game for the East Mile Wildcats. We'll get to that. Highlights also the results from the championship series in both American and National Leagues from last night. We have the Obscura holiday today and history birthdays. Everybody is entitled to Mike Benatti's opinion. Ashley Sinner and Don Collings will be dropping by in the second half of the program. You've been to the Wells House. I've been to the Wells House. But this weekend, this Friday and Saturday, you're going to get a chance to see part of the Wells House that is normally not open to the public. They're calling it the Nooks and Crannies Tour.
They had
the
something
Wells
similar
House.
to that about 2 years ago. Yeah, that we covered. Unfortunately, when our computer crashed, I lost all the
Yeah.
B-roll. So.
That's something we don't want to talk about. So anyway, we'll also talk all things Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center with Don and Ashley coming up in the second half of the program. You ready to go around the valley?
Yeah, let's check it out.
Let's do it. Let's see what we have in store. Sunrise is at 7:22, so we're about 17 minutes away from that actually happening, but still enough light to see the Wenatchee Valley. About a week from now, that's going to be dark. We're just not going to have enough light for the cameras to pick up what's going on, but that's the nature of the beast as we get deeper and deeper into October. Beautiful view.
Isn't that
from
nice?
That's a 4K camera, by the way, Steve. That means it cost us $4,000. I don't know what it means. Some of the technical stuff in television goes right over
It's
my
about
head.
a 4K hike, I think.
Yeah, that's what it is. Beautiful view from the affectionately known cross camera. It's located fairly adjacent to the cross at the very tip of Wenatchee Heights. So that's always our first camera when it's available to us from now on. Kat decides where we go, and Kat says Lake Chelan is a good place to go. Look at how sharp that looks. Have you noticed
Marina there?
Yeah, that's the new Sunset Marina. Have you noticed how sharp the shadows are this time of the year with the angle of the sun?
I've noticed that.
Yeah,
too.
it's really neat. I really like it.
Plays havoc with the playoff baseball games, though I know that.
Yeah, during the day, yeah. Oh, that's a problem. But I don't care. It's playoff baseball. A beautiful view of Lake Chelan from, I'm assuming that's the Lower Butte camera, Kat? Yeah,
Looking towards
Lower Butte camera.
downtown.
We have two cameras on the butte, one on the very top and one a little bit lower and a little bit more.
What a
to the
gorgeous
east.
place Lake Chelan
Yeah.
is.
Oh, it's a beautiful. And this is a good time to visit too. It really is. Camera 3, Kat says, "Wow."
Oh, Lake
well, I said,
Wenatchee.
"Wow." That has got to be Lake Wenatchee. It's got to be our Two Rivers camera. So isn't that cool? That's
Fog laying in over
that's what you
over
get.
the water there.
I'm trying to remember what causes that. I think the temperature of the air is colder than the temperature of the water. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So the water would be,
Thank you, Mr. Wizard.
yeah, thank you very much. So that's what causes that. That will burn off, of course, but that's kind of cool looking, isn't it?
I like it.
That is really neat. Lake Wenatchee from our Two Rivers
Kind of
camera.
surreal.
It is. A beautiful sunrise going up there. And finally, camera 4. is a view from number 1 Canyon. That is gorgeous.
Isn't that pretty?
That is gorgeous. Just beautiful. I love it. You can see a little sliver of the Columbia River there. Jump off
Dan
range.
is speechless.
I can just look at that all day. I really could. That's just gorgeous. Good work, Kat.
Wow.
That is just really nice work from Kat, our person in the control room. So, yeah, that's why she makes huge amount of money. You know what she did the other
Starving
day?
artist, as they say.
Oh my. From the National Weather Service, here's your forecast. And it looks pretty much like we've been having for a long period of time.
Look at that yellow sky.
Oh yeah. Ridge of high pressure, large and in charge. Clear skies, light winds, chilly morning temperatures. The only thing out there that we really need to talk about, we could get into some stagnant air issues, Steve, as the high pressure ridge begins to slide right directly over north central Washington and a little beyond. So that means we could have some stagnant air. We saw that yesterday in the upper part of the valley.
Some parts of the state right now are in the stage 1 burn ban because of that inversion. Traps that smoke, but not here. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Just absolutely gorgeous. Yesterday's high was 64. They're not quite getting to those afternoon highs that they're predicting. They're always a couple of degrees shorter than that, but it is expected to warm up a little bit Thursday, Friday, Saturday to near 70. None of these are record highs. We've seen temperatures near 80 this time of the year, just on these weird
Did you see yesterday's high temperature in Forks on the coast?
No.
80.
80, yeah, wow.
Yeah.
I'll take it here. So there you go. That's your forecast from the National Weather Service. It's as simple as it gets. Get out and enjoy this weather while you can, because it's not going to last forever.
No, well, it's just a different kind of a weather.
Yeah, and remember last year we had the rainiest October on record. So it's just this roller coaster ride of weather.
Good news too for Mission Ridge. You get those nighttime lows dropping into the 30s. That means they're going to be making snow here probably in the next couple of weeks.
A lot of people were excited because when we had the rain that came through Mission Ridge, especially the summit, got quite a bit of snow. It's all gone now. That's just the nature of the beast. 7 minutes after the hour, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, the guy in red is going to do the news.
I beg your
Burgundy. The guy in Burgundy will deliver your news. There's a lot of it, too, to get to on this Wednesday. The news is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 8 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCWLIFE channel.
The NCWLIFE channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's learn. Guada TV. Street Talk and Other Stuff. The 12th District. Life with Lisa. And the Arbiter of Stoke. NCWLIFE channel is your local TV station.
This is the NCWLIFE Community Calendar brought to you by LocalTel. Chelan Chase is this Saturday at Riverwalk Park. Proceeds from this 5K race, run, walk will benefit hospitals and cancer patients. Also Saturday, the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center will be hosting a free art class from 11 to 12. Learn how to draw using a continuous line like Swiss-German artist Paul Klee. For more information and other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
Well, good morning and welcome back to the program. Here's the news for North Central Washington for this Wednesday, the 17th day of October. First of all, things are getting a little ugly in the campaign for Chelan County Sheriff. In fact, the Sheriff's Office wants to make clear this morning that its Chief of Patrol did not make a statement attributed to him in a social media post. The post is being interpreted as a joke about mental illness and police use of force. The post was part of a PowerPoint demonstration created by instructor Mike Battis, who had provided free training for sheriff's deputies. Now, the slide in question, as we see here, is now being described by the instructor as a poor attempt at humor. It was shared on Facebook by, among others, the Tyler for Sheriff page, Jennifer Tyler. She's running against Sheriff Bryant Burnett in the upcoming election. Battis said he knows the Chief of Patrol personally and professionally and was trying to tease him, but now realizes he made a mistake and apologizes. Sheriff's Office first became aware of the slide early Tuesday afternoon and then quickly issued a press release distancing itself from that social media post. The text in the PowerPoint slide is not a quote from the pictured administrator. any Chelan County Sheriff's Office command staff member or any other Chelan County Sheriff's Office employee, according to the office. The quote goes on to say that the Sheriff's Office is committed to deal with mental health and the use of force issues in a professional manner, end quote. Also, another election news, and this is from the NCWLIFE Here Come to Judge file, I suppose you could say. The candidates for 3 local judicial races will appear at a forum tonight, sponsored by the Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce. It's at the Local Tel Event Center at Pybus. It's preceded by a reception starting at 5 p.m. Participating in tonight's forum will be Kyle Mott and Alan Blackman, competing for the Chelan County District Court Judge Position 2. Eric Bigger and Robert Hunter, competing for Douglas County Court Judge Position 1. And Kristen Ferreira and Charles Steinberg, competing for Chelan County Superior Court Judge Position 3. Questions can be submitted for consideration by emailing gerald.e@wenatchee.org. Tonight, Central Washington University hosts the one and only debate between 8th District Congressional hopefuls Dino Rossi and Kim Schreier. NCWLIFE will bring it to you live and uninterrupted, starting at 7 o'clock tonight. Then at 8 o'clock, right afterwards, we'll rebroadcast last week's NCW Candidates Forum from the Numerica Performing Arts Center. In other election news, we continue our coverage today of the ballot initiatives you'll be voting on when you receive your general election ballots this week. Thanks to TVW for sharing the pros and cons of I-1631, the carbon tax measure. This morning, we bring you the yes side of that argument.
Hi, my name is Becky Kelly, and I've spent my life working to protect, restore, and sustain Washington's environment and healthy communities for everyone. But most importantly, I'm a mom. I'm joining hundreds of thousands of people across our state in supporting Initiative 1631 because it will help build a cleaner, healthier future for my daughter and for all of our kids across Washington. I, like you, believe we have a responsibility to pass on a healthier place to live for future generations. Initiative 1631 is a sensible step that places a fee on large corporate polluters in Washington like big oil companies, making them pay for the pollution in our air and water, and investing in affordable, clean energy and stronger, healthier communities. We all do our part to reduce pollution, and now we can hold big polluters accountable to protect our air and water. When big oil companies pollute, they leave the rest of us to pay the price with our health and environment. Initiative 1631 will make clean energy more affordable for more people, reduce over 20 million tons of pollution annually, and build new clean energy projects that will lead to 41,000 good-paying jobs across the state. We can feel good about the investments in this initiative because there's strong public accountability and transparency built in from the start. All investments are overseen by a public board made up of experts in science, business, health, and trusted community leaders. The independent board ensures we are reducing pollution and expanding clean energy so that big oil companies and special interests aren't making decisions about our future. 1631 is backed by the biggest, broadest initiative coalition in state history. It's supported by over 200 organizations made up of scientists, clean energy and environmental advocates, labor unions, businesses large and small, tribal nations, and communities of color. Standing against our united coalition are 6 big oil companies who account for 99.9% of the No campaign spending. They are attacking this initiative because it cuts into their billion-dollar profits. My daughter just started 7th grade, and every day I think about the future we're leaving her. We have a responsibility to invest in clean energy and a better future for our kids. Big oil companies may hate it, but they have a responsibility to do their part for the harm they've caused to our air, water, and the health of our kids. Please join me in voting yes on Initiative 1631 so we can build clean energy, create thousands of jobs, and protect the air we breathe and water we drink for generations to come.
Also in the news this morning, the Washington State apple industry plans a major promotional campaign next year for the new Cosmic Crisp variety. It's among several new varieties that have generated a lot of excitement among growers.
And I've been impressed by the industry in terms of new varieties like Honey Crisp, Sweet Tango, Rave, Envy, Sugar Bee, and a lot of organics. And everyone is anticipating the launch of the Cosmic crisp. You know, just not to get caught up in the cosmos of the opportunity and just what it would mean. But it's going to be a great apple for the industry and really help to sustain Eastern Washington into the future.
It's Stamilk Growers President Wes Matheson, who commented at last week's Chelan Port hosted panel discussion on the topic of economic development and the role that ag plays there. Commercial orchards started planting the new apple last year, and they're scheduled to hit the supermarkets next fall. In the lead up to that, it's reported that a $10 million advertising campaign will be launched. The Cosmic Crisp was developed by Washington State University as a cross between the Enterprise and the Honeycrisp apples. The Capitol Press reports the University and Proprietary Variety Management of Yakima, that's the company hired by the university to commercialize the apple, have selected a California-based company as the lead agency for that ad campaign. Irrigation season about finished for the Wenatchee area, with the Wenatchee Reclamation District having shut off water last Friday, and the Greater Wenatchee Irrigation District scheduled to shut down this Friday. Wenatchee Reclamation District operates a 34-mile canal that serves about 9,000 water users from Dryden to Rock Island. Greater Wenatchee Irrigation District, which serves the upper bench of East Wenatchee, Brays Landing, and Howard's Flat, will keep the drains open for a week after shutdown Friday to allow the system to drain out. Also, Chelan County Port Commissioner wants to help save the historic Horan House from being torn down. The owners of the old Victorian-style home have applied with the City of Wenatchee to demolish the building and its neighboring carriage house. As a private developer, Commissioner Rory Turner has been involved in a number of restoration projects around the state. He says the Horan House is worth saving.
So I look at historic buildings as you know, opportunities and visions of the past that go away every time one gets torn down. I look at the Horan House and I see a wood frame structure that was built and designed in 1899 by one of our forefathers.
And Turner outlined a three-pronged plan for relocating and restoring that home.
The first challenge is how do we get it to not be torn down? That's going to be an initial solution of moving it probably off that site somewhere and maintaining it as a structure. Then the second challenge is what's the long-term use of that? Is it an interpretive center? You know, can we move it down to Confluence Park and use it there? Is there anything we can do with the state parks? Then ultimately, how do we raise the funds to bring that up to get to that point where it's usable?
Turner says he's working with the State Trust for Historic Preservation on a plan to preserve the home. City is awaiting the completion of a state-required environmental review before acting on the property owner's application for demolition. And finally, preparations continue at the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center for the Artifact, a live, interactive, and spooky trip through the museum. The producers of the show, Jeff Blackburn and Bill Brown, gave us a behind-the-scenes look.
Howdy, my name's Jeff Blackburn.
I'm Bill Brown.
We're the producers for The Artifact. It's a haunted museum tour. It's a fundraiser for the museum. So it's going to start on the 25th and then run through the 27th. We'll take the 28th off and then run 29 through 31. It starts at 6 p.m. It's $12 at the door or $10 if you buy them in advance here at the museum. But what we need is more help. So if you can clear a background check, you can pay with us in a place like this. That's right, the crazy basement at the museum. But we want to bring a lot of people through here, and at the end of it, we want to hand them a check and do this again next year. That would be the goal.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
and all the interest that we have already is just, you better come early. Come close to 6, because I think the lines are going to be wrapping around this building.
That's the goal. So come and see us. You can check out our website, our Facebook page. Just look up The Artifact, search The Artifact Wenatchee Haunted Theater, and it'll pop right up, Haunted Theater Wenatchee.
Or the museum Facebook page.
Yeah, on the
or
museum,
their website.
Or their website, yeah. Contact us, and we'll contact you. So thanks for checking out The Artifact. It's going to be awesome.
Kind of borrowing from a night at the museum, huh?
It's going to be really cool.
You were down there, right?
I went down there a couple of days ago to get a behind-the-scenes tour. I was the one who filmed it, brilliantly, I might add. There are a lot of things that Jeff and Bill couldn't talk about because we don't want to just give away the whole thing, because there's a plot and a story that you follow through in groups of 6 or 8, kind of a guided tour, but things happen along the way. And the video tour that I gave really doesn't do it justice. I know a lot of the cool things that are going to happen and scary things that are going to happen as you go through the artifact and you learn about the story of the artifact. You just have to do it. I can't wait.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
I can't wait
Educational, too.
Yeah, okay.
Let that be a lesson to you, folks.
Yeah, Steve Hare, everybody give him a big hand. On good days, Steve has the bolts on his neck tightened, and that's one of those days. One more programming matter. Don't forget the only debate between Dr. Kim Schreier and Dino Rossi, who are running to replace Dave Reichert to represent this area, the 8th Congressional District in the United States Congress, is tonight at Central Washington University. We will have the entire debate, forum, whatever you want to call it.
Dan will not be moderating.
I will not be moderating it. I'll be watching baseball. No, I'm actually going to watch this debate. I'm going to DVR baseball and watch this because this is the only chance to watch it.
It is.
This is it. It's commercial free from 7 to 8 o'clock tonight. We'll have it right here on this very television station, as we like to say in the business, TV. And then right after that, at 8 o'clock, we're going to replay our candidates forum that we put together with Coho Radio and the Wenatchee World that we held a week ago today at the America Performing Arts Center. So fill your brain full of the information when you get ready to vote. You don't want to throw your vote away.
Well, if tonight's debate is anything like the ad campaigns that both of those camps are running, I'll tell you, you might see some fireworks.
Most of the ads that I've seen have been what they call soft money, outside people. You know, the candidate did not pay for this ad, somebody else did. That's been the real stuff.
We're seeing it nationwide.
Yeah, the actual ads are being paid for by the campaigns are considerably softer. Let's put it that way. The news with Grant, what's that?
The attack ads
are normally not paid for by the candidates themselves. The news with Grant Olson comes your way at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. 5, 6, and 10 are your 3 chances to watch the news with Grant Olson. Grant also handles the weather forecast, so if you love this weather, send Grant an email and say thanks, we appreciate it. And if you want to send us an email, or if you want to say hi or whatever, there are any number of ways to do that in his lovely burgundy.
I'll take the cue. That's right. NCWLIFE.com, that's our website. You can talk to us there by just clicking the tab at the top of the page. Also, you can share any news ideas you might have on our Facebook or Twitter pages. You can talk to us also on our email. The address is news@ncwlife.com. And of course, if you see news happening, breaking news, our hotline is 888-6295.
Around the region we go. Moses Lake 33. Let's see. Omak, you're at 31 degrees. Downtown Dryden 32. Suburban Dryden also 32. Chelan, you're checking in at 38. Manson 34 outside of our studios. 39 degrees. Going to take a quick break. When we come back, sports. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
I came here to CVCH because one of my friends referred me. When I met Dr. Jocelyn, she was just amazing. She connected with my son, and it meant so much to me. He opens up so quickly because she just sits there and plays with him. It really is like going to see a friend. It's really great to walk into somewhere where you feel welcomed and you feel accepted and respected. It just feels like home.
I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE channel.
I'm Eric Grandstrom with NCWLIFE Sports.
I'm NCWLIFE News Director Steve Hare.
Catch us on Local Tel Channel 12.
You can watch us on Charter Channel 19 or stream us live on NCWLIFE.com.
Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.
Where we cover the local high schools, the Wenatchee Wild, and the pro teams out of Seattle.
On Saturday, we have a 90% chance of rain.
Catch it all right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
And we're back at 24 minutes after the hour. Let's do sports. You're a kid, you're playing that imaginary game in your backyard. It's always the same scenario. Kids think about it all the time. It's a tie game, it's the bottom of the ninth, it's a full count, you're at the plate. It's all that cool stuff. Well, the Dodgers' Cody Bellinger lived that reality last night. It wasn't a dream. It was in Game 4 of the National League Championship Series. The only difference is it was the 13th inning, not the 9th. Manny Machado, second base, 2 outs. Bellinger ripping a base hit to right field. That allowed Machado to score the winning run. L.A. ties the National League Championship Series at 2 games apiece. Bellinger ended up 2 for 4 in the night as 7 Brewer pitchers held the Dodgers to 7 hits over 13 innings, 17 strikeouts. The game went all the way after 11 o'clock last night, so the 2 teams turned right around on short rest for Game 5 at 2:05 this afternoon. By the way, Game 4 of the American League Championship Series is tonight in Houston. The Red Sox pounded the Astros last night, 8-2 yesterday. Jackie Bradley Jr.'s grand slam home run put that game on ice for the Sox. Things just got really interesting atop the Big 9 girls soccer standings last night. To the Les Schwab Prep scoreboard we go. Moses Lake came in to lead off the field at the Apple Bowl, and they shut out the Panthers 3-0. It's only Wenatchee's second loss in league play this year, but both came at the hands of the Chiefs. The win improves Moses Lake to 7-2. The Panthers fall to 8-2. Meanwhile, Eastmont kept pace by shutting out Sunnyside on the road, 4-0 there. The win improves the Wildcats' records to 7-3. Wenatchee swept the season series with Eastmont, so the Panthers have the advantage there. The regular season title will be determined over the final couple of games for Moses Lake and Wenatchee. Also last night, Cascade remained unbeaten. As you see, they defeated Okanagan in girls soccer 6-0. Well, what a great volleyball game last night. We had it right here on the NCWLIFE channel. Eastmont sweeping Eisenhower 3-0. They improved to 6-2 in Big 9 play. The final 25-23, 25-19, 25-21. Britt Vaughn swung the momentum in the second game, serving 10 points in a row. That's good. Coach Corinne Davis said it was a huge turnaround in the game.
Her serving run that she went on was a game changer. Oh my gosh. She had, I think we were counting 5 or 6 aces in a row. It was huge, and that was a big not only pickup for her but pickup for the team, and it led us through that second game. We needed it, and she stepped up to the plate.
Kobe Volshaw made one dig after another to help Eastmont to the victory. She said it wasn't their best night because, who's kidding who, they were looking ahead to Thursday night.
We have Wenatchee Thursday, so they're a little better of a team. They have hitters that can still put the ball away, so I like playing them to know what's coming from Wenatchee, especially. They use their outside, so does Wenatchee. So
sure.
We know what's coming for us Thursday, and hopefully play a little better then.
Fleet and I were asking, maybe, were you guys thinking ahead to Thursday a little bit at times, or?
Oh, definitely, definitely. I know we played Wenatchee in the tournament. Things didn't go as planned, but we're ready to come back.
Okay.
Speaking of Wenatchee, as you take a look at the Les Schwab scoreboard, they went on the road, and despite dropping the second game, they defeated Davis 3-1. Also, Chelan swept Omak, Cascade down Okanagan. Lake Roosevelt won a thriller in Waterville, 3-2, 21 years ago. Ken Overbearing bought the Seahawks, was going to move the team to Anaheim. The NFL said, go ahead, Ken, go for it. But the city of Seattle and the Seahawks supporters moved in, quickly devised a plan to stop that from happening. At the center of it all was Microsoft co-founder Paul Allen.
Mr. Allen said, okay, that's great. I will purchase the team, but I'm going to need the public to come in and help build a stadium.
We are all down here today showing support because we want to vote on a new stadium.
It was like a lot of 3rd and long and 4th and long situations.
The people who want to convince you to approve a tax package to help pay for a new Seahawks stadium say they are not discouraged by our new poll indicating they might be fighting a losing battle.
2 months before the election day, the poll showed us down 32-57.
If the referendum fails, the Seahawks will be gone from Seattle.
The time leading up to the vote was very stressful. There was a lot of opposition that we had to get past. So I, as a legislator, was trying very hard to communicate the facts. This is good for the state of Washington. Having a new stadium here and keeping the Seahawks would help fund our schools, would help fund our essential services.
It's going to add to the revenue base of the city, and it's going to help us to pay for police and libraries and all the other things that people want.
We worked hard to get the information out there so people could understand that this stadium would be a world-class soccer stadium as well.
The only thing we're trying to do is enhance the community. We need you to make sure that your voice is heard.
In just under 8 hours, voters will begin heading to the polls to decide what could be one of the closest elections in Washington state history.
I think everyone remembers the night of the vote. Everybody was on pins on needles.
I walked in the door and Paul says, we're down by 30,000 votes.
The vote over the Seahawks Stadium remains extremely tight tonight, failing 51-49.
Referendum 48 was a real nail-biter because when the votes first started to come in, mostly they were against keeping the team.
The early results were bad. You know, I was sweating bullets. At that point, I thought we were going to lose the team.
It is winning with 90% of the votes counted, 51-49%.
By 11 o'clock, it was looking like votes from Western Washington were tipping the scales and moving the needle to the positive. And then Paul stepped up on stage. He strapped on his guitar and started playing along with them, and it was a lot of fun.
Everybody remembers him playing with the band and performing and just really celebrating. It's a side of Paul Allen that people rarely see.
In the end, the love of the Hawks and the understanding that this was a big deal for our city, our county, our region was able to lead to victory.
Fortunately enough, we passed, referendum 48, and Paul saved the Seahawks.
I think people thought that this was a better community with the Seahawks here than with the Seahawks gone.
Special thanks to Seahawks.com for providing the video. Tomorrow in our continuing series on the legacy of Paul Allen, the building of the brand new CenturyLink Field. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 32 minutes after the hour. Let's do the obscure holiday. Today is Wear Something Gaudy Day. Here you go. I used to have those. I have gaudy clothes. I probably should have worn some gaudy clothes. The word gaudy, of course, refers to things that are bright and flashy and usually tasteless and tacky. So if you haven't already dressed to go to work today, say you have a court appearance, wear something like that. That'll go over well. Wear something gaudy today, something that just makes no sense at all, like that. We can't wear gaudy clothes on television. Well, we can, but I like my job and I want to keep it 32 minutes after the hour. Let's do today in history. The Great London Beer Flood happened on this date, October 17th, 1814. Huge vat like that, full of beer, 135,000 gallons of beer. It ruptured. It caused the vat to tip over, which caused the next vat to tip over, and eventually, by the domino effect, all of the vats tipped over. 323,000 gallons of beer burst out, gushed into the streets of downtown London. 2 homes destroyed, 8 people were killed in the Great London Beer Flood of 1814. October 17th, 1919, 99 years ago today, RCA, the Radio Corporation of America, was founded. It's one of those corporations that was just dominant throughout the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. In the 70s, it kind of got behind the 8 ball, and now they're barely around anymore. They were the major manufacturer of radios, of televisions. They owned NBC for years and years and years. RCA is just a shell of its former company, but it was a big one, and it was born on this date 99 years ago today. The end of the World's Fair happened on this date, on October 17, 1965. The New York World's Fair finally came to a close, which begs the question, whatever happened to the World's Fair? It used to be huge. New York had a World's Fair. Seattle had the 62 World's Fair. Montreal in 67, Knoxville. What happened to the World's Fair? Do they even have them anymore? It used to be a huge deal. The New York World's Fair closed, the most popular one ever. 51 million people went through the gates. It wrapped up on October 17, 1965. We all remember this as the Los Angeles earthquake, or the World Series earthquake, I should say. There it is. The Loma Prieta earthquake shook the the San Francisco Bay Area in the Central Coast. 63 people eventually were killed October 17, 1989. Like most people, I was getting ready to watch Game 3 of the World Series when the earthquake hit, and that happened 29 years ago today. On October 17, 1992, his name is Yoshihiro Hatari. He was a Japanese exchange student. He was on his way to a costume party, a Halloween party in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He was dressed up. He got lost, didn't know where he was going, knocked on the door of the home of Rodney Pierres, and Rodney Pierres shot and killed him. There were no charges filed. The people of Japan, as you might imagine, were pretty darn upset. Eventually, the governor of Louisiana got involved in it. He eventually was charged. Pierres was charged with manslaughter. He was tried and he was acquitted. It happened on this date, October 17th, 1992. And finally, let's do some birthdays at 35 minutes after the hour. Considered the most glamorous and famous screen idol of the 1940s, Rita Hayworth was born in this state in 1918, passed away in 1987 at the age of 68. She could sing, she could dance, she could act, and she looked pretty good on screen. Rita Hayworth, born on this date 100 years ago today. Don Coryell, the first coach ever to win 100 games in college and 100 games in the professional ranks, was born in the state in 1924. Passed away about 8 years ago at the age of 85. He got his coaching start as the head coach of the Wenatchee Valley College Knights back in 1955. Don Coryell was born in the state in 1924. Evel Knievel, born and raised in Butte, Montana, lived for a while on the Columbia Basin. He was born in the state in 1938. 7 of the 10 highest-rated ABC Wild World of Sports episodes were Evel Knievel jumping over something. Evel Knievel, one of the strange idols of my youth, was born in the state in 1938. And Mike Judge, the creator of Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill, and Silicon Valley, the director, screenwriter, producer, and actor Mike Judge, is 56 years old today. 36 minutes after the hour, everybody is entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion. And then let's go to the Wells house. What do you say? Don Collings and Ashley Sinner patiently standing by. They're going to join me next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
This is the NCWLIFE Community Calendar brought to you by LocalTel. The Red Cross Confluence Health Blood Drive is this Friday from 10 to 3 in the LocalTel Event Center at Pybus Public Market. To register, visit redcrossblood.org. The Nooks and Crannies tour at Wells House is this Friday and Saturday. This is an exclusive tour of the castle at Wenatchee Valley College that includes floors usually restricted to the public. For more information and other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
Peace of mind. It's what everybody desires when it comes to ownership of a car. When you purchase and service a car from Apple Valley Honda, we're going to give you a warranty on your new Honda, and it's going to be for life. As a car owner, you pay thousands of dollars to insurance companies to maintain the appearance of your car. At Apple Valley Honda, you'll pay nothing to help you maintain the mechanics of your car. And again, it's for life. At Apple Valley Honda, our customers are valued and they deserve the peace of mind that comes with the warranty for life. So come visit us. We would love to see you.
Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house, featuring great family dining in downtown Chelan. We've got burgers, pub fare, and the best barbecue around. Try one of our award-winning sauces made fresh here in-house. So grab the whole gang and come on down. Stormy Mountain Brewing. Beer, barbecue, friends, and beer.
Life is about memories and lasting impressions. With Boswell's expansive 2-story showroom of quality home furnishings, you'll find everything you need to create a home to remember. Need assistance? From fabric options and complimentary design service to complete home makeovers, Glenn, Buffy, and Teresa are there to guide you. Come into Boswell's and find inspiration and comfort for every room in your home. Boswell's on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
We've been in the cleaning industry for over 10 years, and we noticed a need in the housing market for reliable, professional, and specialized cleaning and finishing company.
They come in with spunk and personality, a lot of energy, and they take pride in their business.
We offer a wide array of cleaning solutions, no matter how big or small the job. Anything from new construction to move-in, move-outs, we do it all. Give us a call today to see how we can help you with your cleanup.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been serving North Central Washington for 34 years. Arctic provides the finest heating and cooling air quality products for residential and commercial customers, along with prompt and professional customer service. Arctic also offers specialty services like custom sheet metal fabrication of ductwork, coil cleaning, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Arctic is available for emergency calls 24/7. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
Hey, this is Mike
Mike, Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, gentlemen, you know what your wives and your girlfriends often complain about? You, their hubbies or their boyfriends, and how you gawk at other women when you're with them. Now, what's wrong with you? Show some respect. Look, men like to look at eye candy every once in a while. I know that. But you think it's not a big deal, but to do it blatantly when you're with your woman is really derogatory to your relationship. Now, the technical scientific words for openly gawking at women when you're with your wife or your significant other is stupid. So don't do it. Now, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Hello, and what is up? Welcome to Career Shift Business Edition. I've got 3 choices: certificate, associates, and bachelor's. I'm going associates. And I'm enrolled. Stay alert, this game was pretty fast. Whoa, exams almost did me in. I'm back on track and picking up speed. And I'm in the home stretch. Degree complete, and I'm ready to go to work. Charter helped me make that career shift. Your turn.
That's pretty much it. It's a great house, great neighborhood.
It's great. Sam's still getting used to the idea of moving.
Sam, play basketball?
Yeah.
Let me show you something.
Now I'm thinking, you put your hoop right here, and you even got enough room for a three-point line. One of the things I've noticed is that if you got a hoop in your driveway, you make friends real fast.
At Coldwell Banker Levine, our agents don't just understand real estate, they understand what home is all about.
NCWLIFE Channel is proud to present the Spotlight on Business. We're going behind the scenes to bring you the story of local businesses throughout North Central Washington. How did they get started, and why are they so successful? We'll answer these and other questions each week with Spotlight on Business, Sundays through Fridays on the NCWLIFE Channel.
You don't want to see this happen. It's the oil light on your car. Oil is the lube of life for your car's engine. At Alignment Pros and Express Lube, they pour the best oil your car deserves. Expect fast, friendly, superior service in a clean environment. They'll change your oil and perform a 21-point inspection while you enjoy the comfort of their amazing waiting room. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
Back at it here on this edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. A long time ago, A.Z. Wells built a beautiful mansion off of 5th Street in Wenatchee. Eventually it became the home of Wenatchee Valley College, and now it's all these years later. The house is still there. The college is ginormous, and it's been one of those iconic structures that everybody talks about. If you spend any amount of time at all in the Wenatchee Valley, you're familiar with the Wells House. Well, coming up this Friday and Saturday, not only can you get a tour of the Wells House, you can get inside the Wells House and see certain aspects of that historic building that you may not have ever seen before. And here to talk about that and all things Wells House, maybe a little Wells House, no, a little museum talk maybe. To my far left is Ashley Sinner, who's the Outreach and Public Relations Coordinator. I can't talk today, Ashley. Ashley's been on the show. Ashley Sinner. And Don Collings, whose official title is Wells House Coordinator. That's an important title. How did you get that gig, Don?
Well, gosh, I'm very fortunate, actually. Position was a brand new position, and so I applied because when I saw the advertisement, I said to my husband, oh my gosh, this is me. I just love these kinds of things, and so I was very blessed to get the position and to work with Ashley and others, and it's been great.
She actually beat me out for the job.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that.
I think that's why we become such good friends.
Yeah. Luckily, they had another position for me they held out on.
So what, my guess is you kind of operate the day-to-day operations of the Wells House. You schedule any kind of events from organizations that want to rent out the facility. That's your job.
Exactly, we do. We have lots of opportunities for people to rent it, and we have a lot scheduled for this fall and into the winter. And then also we plan our own events. So I work with a great group of volunteers, and we plan, all kinds of things that we would like to have happen at the house, because the whole goal is for people to get into the house, see the house, understand the history and why it's important to our valley. And so for us, it's a lot of fun to bring people into the house.
Who's your boss?
I actually work for the museum.
Okay.
So we have our new director coming in, and we're excited. And Daryl has been our interim director, and we love working with him. So great group.
So you get to see the Wells House probably every day. Is your office actually in the Wells House? Or
I do. I have an office right now in both locations, but more and more time at Wells House.
Is it like walking into the mid-1920s when you go to work each day? Because a lot of the interior of the Wells House has been maintained. I mean, is it like in a little time machine?
It is.
Yeah.
It is, absolutely. And the fun part, too, is because, and some of the things that people will see this weekend on our tour, is there are still snippets of college days left in the building. And so it really is a good, tour across the ages to see what has taken place in that house. So it's a lot of fun.
Whose idea was this to say, hey, let's open up the Wells House to the public and let people pay some money and look at rooms and places that they can't normally see? Whose idea was this?
I think it's probably Don's idea.
Well, it came about kind of with our volunteers. We talk about some of the things, and when we do tours, like the tour of homes and things like that, people are always saying, oh gosh, I'd love to see the rest of the building. Do you ever do that? And so we all said, Nooks and Crannies tours. And we knew that in other historic homes, that's a type of tour that has become popular elsewhere. So we thought, why not give it a try and be able to show people the things they don't normally see.
How much of the original building, we see the exterior all the time, how much of the interior is original to the building itself? It's still there and still intact?
Probably pieces of the basement, perhaps, and I would say the third floor would probably be the most that you can still see, bits and pieces of the original, because a lot of restoration on the first and second floors. So probably those are the areas that you will see most.
Does the building predate plumbing and electricity? Was all that retrofitted? Electricity probably was there when they built it, but what about indoor plumbing and things like that?
Yes, it was there, is my understanding, and it has been updated, through the years, especially with the last restoration that was completed about 1.5 years ago. Some of those, things were done. But again, you can see remnants of, different things, and some of the pipes and things that were there. We'll be able to show you, how the electricity has changed from the conduit that was exposed in the ceiling to now. There's some wireless and some things in there, so it's kind of fun.
How does this all work on Friday and Saturday, Ashley? How does people say, I want to tour the Wells House? What do they do?
Well, most importantly, they need to go either call the museum or go on our website to get tickets ahead of time. There's, I think, tours every hour, between 1 and 4 on Friday, and then 10 and 3 on Saturday. And so they need to sign up for one of those slots, because there's small groups that can go through and take the tour at a time, so they need to sign up for one of the open slots.
You just can't show up and walk in?
No.
Okay. It's not like a typical Friday night at Ashley's house with the live band and the keg and all that stuff. You can't just be tromping in and out.
No.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, it's $10 for individuals and $25 per families, but we ask that kids be 10 years old or older, just because it is a historic home and we can't just have people running around. And there's a lot of antiques and things in there that we want to preserve.
Yeah. Stuff worth a lot of money. These are, I'm assuming, guided tours?
Yes.
And who's doing the touring itself? Is that
Actually, I am doing some of them, but our volunteers from Wells House are the ones that give the tours, and they love to give the tours, and they do great, because they just have, so many of them have been involved for so many years that they have just, down to the detail of the history, and it's really fun. I enjoy going on tours, listening to them, because they give great tours. So it will be the opportunity for the, the one-on-one to really learn and ask questions and see
One
some
of my
things.
favorite things is in the bathrooms, which are on the normal floors that you see, but the walls look kind of like subway tiles, but it's actually just carved indents in the wood. So that's original to the home, but yeah, it's just like carved into the wall, so it's not actually a tile. So that's a really just interesting feature, and there's lots of those on the other floors too. And the volunteers know all of those, little tidbits, and it's like a timeline of history. It's a time capsule, but it's not just one moment frozen in time, because then there's the updates from when it was the college, or when it was the campfire offices, and so there's just different things around the house.
I think most people are familiar with the main floor because there are public events that happen at the Wells House all the time, and you book those and arrange those, and probably have to be there during the wedding reception or whatever it is. But the top floor and the basement is not open to the public. So what are people gonna? We'll start in the basement. What's so unique? I mean, is it just it's a basement? There's a hot water heater. What's unique about the parts of the building that people don't normally see?
Did you know that there was a billiards room or a ballroom
I did not know that.
in the basement?
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so that would have to be a sizable room for billiards, because if you're gonna have a billiard
correct.
table, you have to have a big room. Okay.
Correct.
So that'll be down there. What else?
You might get to see where the college actually served lunch or breakfast.
Okay, that's in the lower level, or the basement, as it were. And then up above, the top floor, what's up there that we get to see? You don't want to spoil it, do you? You want people to show up.
I think you could say originally that third floor would be considered the servants' quarters. So those were the bedrooms of the the people who serve the families in the house. So yeah.
How many square feet is that house? Do you know? Off the top
Oh
of your head?
gosh, I do not off the top of my head.
It's big.
It's very big.
It's big, and it's so well constructed, isn't it? I mean, that thing's a fortress. That's not going anywhere for centuries, isn't it?
I know. And when they did the last restoration, I mean, they had some interesting things. And again, people will, see some of the pictures and learn a little bit about this. But on the second floor, in the master bedroom there, when the turret was kind of settling a little bit away from the house, and so in the last restoration, they had to, restore that. And in part of it, the ceiling, one of the beams and things actually came down from the weight of birds' nests and things up there. But the amazing thing was what all they found in the walls.
Oh, such as? Can you give me a little?
Yeah, they found things like a woman's dress stuffed in there, and other just different things, plus not only the layers of like on the wallpaper and other things in there. There was quite a bit of history just through the restoration of the house. So we have a lot of things on display too that people will see and be able to really feel like they, in addition to getting the tour, but they will see things that will help them understand the history of the
How
house.
old? When was the Wells House built? I'm sorry, I should know. I don't.
1909.
So it was probably coal heated, I'm guessing, originally.
And we do have a coal chute.
Yeah.
So there are some questions. Some think that it might have been sawdust. The majority feel coal.
So the Wells House was renovated, as you mentioned, just about a year ago. What are the challenges of maintaining a building that's almost 120 years old? I mean, it was built so well, but you still have to maintain.
You do. It's normal maintenance, I think, is a lot of it that we tend to think, oh gosh, beautiful home, there it is. But just like our own homes, you have to continually, keep up with the little bits of maintenance. So like right now across the summer, a lot of our volunteers have been working on reglazing some of the windows and repainting around the sills and getting, it's those types of things that there is always ongoing maintenance. We have a boiler. It needs to be maintained on a regular basis. And so you just have to kind of stay on top of things, trying to keep ahead. But, money is the biggest challenge, quite honestly, for something like this. We receive grants. We're always looking for grants or donations, or when we have events and things, they're fundraisers for us. So the big challenge is truly trying to keep ahead with the funding to be able to support the maintenance, to keep the house, in working order, and of course to be able to continue to renovate it and restore it.
Is the ghost of A.Z. Wells hanging around there, you think?
Well, there have been some people say,
I hear rumors.
but
I hear rumors.
I've heard stories too. I can only tell you that for me, it's been a very happy feeling in the house when I'm there, and others are there. It's a good feeling.
What would be the perfect group or organization and the perfect event to be held at the Wells House when they get a hold of Don? Say, I want to do this. I want to rent out your facility. What's typical and why would anybody? I guess my question is, why would people want to rent out the Wells House for a wedding reception or whatever? What makes it so much unique than any place else?
I think there's a couple of things. A perfect example was a wedding that we had earlier this year. The bride and groom chose to be married there because her parents had been married there.
Oh, that's cool.
And so the parents had been married in a very small wedding indoors, because inside we can only accommodate about, depending on whether you're standing or sitting, up to about 40 people. Outdoors, a lot larger area. So the original wedding was indoors. The new couple they were outside. They had a large wedding. And so it was really special for them because it had memories, it had history for the family. So it's different things like that. People want just the experience, and especially if you're having something inside, it's just that more small, intimate, in a really cool setting. And so to be able to come in and, you know, have something there. And again, we have fun sharing the history, because even if they're there to book a wedding, they're getting a piece of history. They appreciate the history, so most people come there because of what it is. They want to be a part of that.
And the building too inspires new creative ideas. We had a birthday party for a little a young boy, and it was at, I think, nights. So it looks like a castle on the outside. So they had they were outdoors, and the backdrop of the house was the perfect location for his night birthday party.
So we get all kinds of, you know, requests.
There's a lot of things going on besides just, again, the Nooks and Crannies tour is Friday and Saturday, and we'll talk about that one more time. They're guided tours and it's RSVP, you just can't show up. But you got a whole holiday family photos, first Friday holiday open house, holiday tea, photos with Father Christmas. Walk me, you guys are going to be busy between now and December 20th.
We are, yeah. We have so many, the committee of volunteers at the Wells House, they have like different subcommittees. So there's an events committee, and there's different people who do maintenance, and there's a whole bunch of other things that happen. And the events committee has been really busy trying to make sure that as many people as we can open the house to come see it get a chance to do so. So we have, of course, the first holiday teas. These will be the first teas, I think, since the renovation was done last year, will be in December. So that's a big one, because the teas at the Wells House have always been quite popular. And this one, everyone has always said, let's, you know, when it's all decorated for Christmas, because that's the fun part. When the Wells House is decorated for Christmas, we want to open it up for them to see all those decorations. So everyone has always mentioned, Dawn said, oh, we should have a tea during the holidays.
It lends itself to that,
festive,
doesn't it? Yeah.
And so we're going to do it.
Absolutely.
The Wells House is on the campus of the Wenatchee, but it's under the umbrella of the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. What's the relationship between the college and the volunteers and the people who run the Wells House? Is that?
It's a great relationship. We work really closely with the college, and the college actually uses Wells House a lot. So College Foundation has had a lot of things there. In fact, they had their alumni lunch in the spring, was held inside Wells House because it was pouring rain outside that day. And then we were part of the overall campus open house. And the foundation has used it for other meetings and retreats and things like that. College has booked it for meetings, so it gets used a lot.
It's a great building for business meetings. If you have a retreat or some other just staff meeting you need to have a place for, and it's a good location, quiet, nice, good spot outside of the office, so you can get away a little bit and come up with new ideas.
And it's beautiful there. And again, with the college, they work with us, so we each have our part of things as far as like ground maintenance and that type of thing, but they are a great group to work with. So we all have a lot of fun together. And
we have about 2 minutes left. Talk about the volunteers. You've said volunteers about 9 times. Obviously, there's a group of volunteers who just give up their time and energy to maintain and keep the Wells House up?
Yeah, they're the Wells House volunteers, and a lot of them have been around for a long time some from the original Wells House community. Some of them were original Wells House girls when it was a dorm for the girls at the Wells House. And then there's other new members who have been joining all the time.
So they're just a great group of people that, you know, just like to support the house, like to help with projects, to be there and just have a passion for the house. So.
And there's still renovation projects ongoing. The main floor was the big push for the last renovation project, and some on the second floor, but we're still wrapping up some of those projects as we move forward. So they definitely help with a lot of those things as it happens.
Let's wrap it up what we started with, about a minute left. The Nooks and Crannies tour Friday and Saturday. What do people need to know as they see that on the screen? You want to handle this one, Dawn?
Yes, if they just want to come and, you know, contact the museum, either through website or phone number, and register and pick a time that they'd like to come and show up, then we will take it from there and just have a good time.
How long does the tour last so people can plan out their Saturday?
About an hour.
Oh, okay, so that's a serious tour. Okay. Wow, that's good stuff. And then, of course, that's this Friday and Saturday. And then next Friday and Saturday, Dawn will be having guided tours of her house. That will be $100, and that's a 12-hour tour.
Yes.
A 12-hour.
And I'll need volunteers to help.
Volunteers to help with that. And they got, as we just mentioned, we just barely skimmed the surface. Can we have you back in to talk about your other holiday stuff coming up? So we can talk more about it?
Yes, of course. And to get tickets, it's WenatcheeValleyMuseum.org or 888-66240.
I'm so glad they didn't tear that down, because that was something they talked about in the early 70s. You know, it was just taking up space, but it's here and it's a treasure. Good to see you, Dawn. Good to see you, Ashley.
Thank you.
We will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.